Now, this next lady is Deb, and we have a little tradition here at the Hangout of taking a leap. Who was here for the Leap Day special last year? Yeah! And that's basically doing something for the first time. So this is the first time that Deb has stood on the stage at the Hangout. Woo! I want to give you a big round of applause. Let's lift it. And then let's bring it right down to silence so we can hear the first piece.
Thank you very much. As Ian said, this is absolutely, completely out of my comfort zone. If I was telling you about the difference and the pros and cons of self-propel or transit wheelchairs, I'd be absolutely fine. But as I'm not doing that, I am a little bit apprehensive. So I hope you can hear me at the back. Because today, what I wanted to do is to share a little bit of joy with you all. I've been coming to the Artists Hangout now for about 18 months, and this seems the perfect place to tell you and share some joy with you. I'm very fortunate that in my life I have a loving family, albeit small. My mum, who I think the world of. I lost my dad some time ago, but I've still got my mum, and I also have several cousins who I think a lot of too. I've also got 2 children, and they're up there at the back, Ads and Joss. Do you want to give us a wave? And I just want everybody to know that as a mother, they fill me with joy and pleasure. And anybody who's got a new baby will know just how that feels. Adam is going off to find his own way in the world. He's moving into a flat in Manchester with his girlfriend on Saturday. And a new job, and joining the rat race and all that goes with that. And I wish him all the very best. And to Joss, my younger son, who is a loving, giving and pleasurable boy, I'm very, very pleased to have him in my life. I've also got some very good friends that I've known a long time, and some that I've known a lot less. But they too fill me with joy and pleasure. And I'm pleased to say that 1 or 2 of them are here tonight. But that's not actually the reason that I'm stood here. The reason I'm stood here is because there's somebody in that room, Tony Keogh, who absolutely fills me with joy and pleasure. You might know him as Tony the Flick, the man who operates the switches. He has no idea that I am standing up here at all. But what I wanted to do is to share with you some of the things that Tony has done in order to make our relationship work. We've been together now for almost 3 years. And in that time, Tony has made some massive, massive commitments to our relationship. He's from Cleckheaton, which I know is not a long way away, an hour and a quarter. But apart from living for a couple and a half years in South Africa, the rest of the time he's born and bred in Cleckheaton. His family are there, all the people he loves are over there, his children are over there. But when we got together, after 18 months, Tony made the commitment to come and live in Earby. And for a Yorkshireman moving to Lancashire, that's quite a big step. His friends have all said he's moved to the dark side. So I just wanted him to know that I really appreciate that big move. The other things that he's done is he actually decided to jack in his job in the motor trade, completely. And last October he decided he would go part-time and take on some of the philosophies that I hold dear in my heart. I'm not really a money girl. I'm very aware that I get paid 7 days a week. Some of it's in time and some of it's in cash. And I hope the younger people in the audience will recognise how valuable time is, because it's the one commodity you really can't buy. Tony's taken that philosophy on board, and I'm really pleased to say that he now works part-time at Thornton Hall Farm, and he's known as Farmer Tony. Even though actually it's not that long ago that he didn't know the difference between a duck and a chicken. The other things that Tony has done is he's come to live in my home. He's moved in with me and the boys, and all our warts and everything that goes with us. And I know that he's moved in and he's comfortable because he leaves his shoes in the wrong place. So he obviously feels completely at home. And I'm very grateful for that. But I know that all of those changes mean that he can't see his children, who still live in Cleckheaton, and his mum as regularly as he perhaps would like. He can't just drop in on his mum for a coffee and to share a rich tea biscuit and to do the homework with his children. it's a much more organised and arranged event. So although he spends lots and lots and lots of quality time with his children and his mum, it's not the same as I have, and I'm very grateful for that. Then finally, in our social life, of course, I still see all my friends very, very regularly, but Tony doesn't have that, and he has to make a specific arrangement. And if anybody of you came earlier in the year, Tony did a session on the bass, because he plays bass in a band. He's played in West Yorkshire on the gig scene for years, Chasing Amy, The Reprobates, Funky Five, Soul 7, and then latterly Empress. But now he plays in a Skipton band called Jumpstart. So Tony, what I want to say is that for all of that, I am exceptionally grateful, and I understand that you've made a huge commitment. Me, I've done nothing. I still go to the same job, which I've done for a long time and I enjoy. I still have my children around, I still have my mum, I see the same friends, I live in the same house, and perhaps it would appear that I haven't done any of those commitments. But on top of all of that, and despite everything, I want Tony to know that I love you very much. And it's with that I'm asking you to marry me.
I'm absolutely flabbergasted. Flabbergasted, she's had the guts to get. I had no idea. I saw her there earlier on 10 minutes ago. I thought, who said what she's doing?
Do you want to come up?
Yeah.
I'm absolutely flabbergasted to see Deborah up here. 10 minutes ago, you knocked me down with a feather when I saw her there. But of course, the answer is absolutely 100% yes.
I did consider what would happen if he said no, and that awkward moment where we said, shall we get a drink then?
Well, thank you very much for sharing in this big moment that I didn't expect was going to happen 3 minutes ago, and yeah, it's a bit of a special night really, so thank you very much, and what a wonderful place for it to happen, and what wonderful people to be here to witness it. Thank you very much.
People